Welcome back to Backward Point Podcast. My name is Nazar Sayed, and you know what? Pakistan cricket team cannot give the Pakistan cricket fans just a day to rejoice. 48 hours before Pakistan's independence celebrations in Pakistan, which as a patriotic nation, they love their green flags, man. Everywhere. If you've been to Karachi, if you've been to Lahore, you know the celebrations on the streets of Pakistan are intense, are insane. It's going to be a hint of despair when those celebrations take place in about 24 to 48 hours. Pakistan cricket team loses after 34 years in a bilateral series against West Indies. Man, the stats tell me that none of these players were even born the last time Pakistan lost a series against West Indies. I mean, there's so much to dissect. We're going to be talking about the overall series, why we were not here after the second ODI, which was a bit contentious. Pakistan lost. We didn't do a podcast. We can talk about that. And then just the overall vibe of the ODI setup. I think Pakistan has won 2 of their last 11 ODIs in general. With me, as always, my brother and my co-host, Bashar Sayed, to break down the nonsense and decipher the chaos for what it is.
Yeah, this incredible series win by West Indies really demoralizing the Pakistanis a few days before their Independence Day. And it's not just Pakistan's Independence Day. It's also Mr. Nasser Sayed's birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, Pakistan cricket has been disappointing me for a really long time. So it doesn't really affect me or my birthday celebrations. But yeah, it does put a little bit of a hint of, like I said, despair in the air when I've been cutting my cake with my son. And I'm like, again, Betu, no more Babar Azam century for you. He's asking me, bro.
August 14th, Pakistan's Independence Day. August 30th will mark 2 years to Babar Azam's last ODI century that he scored against Nepal in the Asia Cup.
Yes, 158, I believe it was.
We'll talk about a lot of things in this episode. I have done a thorough analysis, a deep dive, if I may say, in the numbers of what Pakistan's issues have been in this format. Particularly, we'll be addressing all the matches happening in 2025. So like you mentioned, Pakistan's played 11 matches this year. They've won just 2. They've lost 9 of them. And this includes a horrendous Champions Trophy that we had in February.
Yeah, totally. We're sort of pushed into doing this review, which is a deep dive of the ODI structure of Pakistan and understanding how we got here, how Pakistan was, I believe, an 8th ranked team, lost to a 10th ranked team. I mean,
Pakistan was number 4.
Pakistan was number 4. Oh,
so
let's start with this.
Let's start with this. Let's start with the context as how bad West Indies is as an ODI team, because that will just set the platform to talk about next.
How bad this loss is. Okay, let's go.
So West Indies, before this series, was the 10th ranked ODI team. West Indies in ODIs is so bad that they did not qualify for the last ODI World Cup that happened in India.
Yeah.
Netherlands qualified ahead of them.
They beat them in the qualifiers, I believe.
West Indies is so bad, they haven't played the last 2 Champions Trophies.
One that Pakistan won and one that Pakistan got knocked out of.
Afghanistan played the last Champions Trophy. Bangladesh played the previous Champions Trophy. And because, again, they're ranked so low that they don't qualify automatically. And when they play qualifiers, they lose against teams like Scotland and Netherlands. So that's how bad the West Indies team is. And Pakistan is number 4 on the rankings. Now, some may say the ICC rankings are deceptive.
Some have said that.
There was a time 2 years ago where Pakistan was the number 1 ranked ICC ODI team.
Yeah.
Babar Azam was the number 1 ranked ODI batter.
Yeah.
But when it came to crunch situations, none of those 2 stats were true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's a great platform you set up for just making this loss just that much more bitter. West Indies have been going through their ups and downs. I mean, we were having multiple conversations with Michelle from the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Wonderful bloke. Love the conversations. I mean, it was actually genuinely fun watching the game with him, with the West Indian Caribbean lens at our disposal. And some of the issues that he highlighted are very similar to issues that we have in Pakistan. So a lot of those systemic issues cannot be forlorn or foregone overnight. That's just the problem of Pakistan and West Indies and their cricket structures. And what he laments is just basically a time where this this whole structure could have been revamped, and we could have actually had a better setup to bring these guys into, which is very familiar to a Pakistan cricket setup. If you're a Pakistan cricket fan, you understand where MASH and the West Indian cricket fans are coming from. Now, when it comes to this series, I think you and I were a bit more skeptical about the T20I series than we were about the ODI series. I thought coming into this series that the ODI series was pretty much a wrap, maybe a 2-1 win for Pakistan if the going went tough.
I think you were overly optimistic.
I was, yeah. I mean,
because you were still fogged by Pakistan's last ODI series wins against Australia and South Africa.
Sure,
but I was reminding you, Pakistan had a terrible Champions Trophy. We had a terrible New Zealand series. And, well, I think we should start off with the second game Pakistan lost this series, which we weren't able to cover. I think some personal commitments came up. Typically, when Pakistan loses, we try to do a podcast because when Pakistan loses, the podcast as well. Money, money, money.
I mean, Bashar is thinking about he's the accountant of the podcast, so of course he's going to think like that.
I would love to do 2 podcasts when Pakistan loses.
You want to do 2, like right after back to back? The same podcast again?
Same podcast.
All right.
Let's talk about the second ODI first. It was a rain-affected match. Pakistan made 177 in 37 overs. The target was then maneuvered to 181 because of the DLS, and West Indies chased it down. Now, the highlight of that Pakistan innings was Babar Azam's duck. 0 off 3 balls.
Why was that the highlight of Pakistan innings?
Well, because the past 2 years, the conversation has always been, when is Babar's next century coming? And I think Babar has spoiled us, I would say, since his debut, that he'd be coming in, scoring centuries against teams for fun. Every other game, he'd be scoring 100. And we were so used to Babar's coming in, smashing centuries, 50s, that now, for the past couple of years, he's had a bit of a dip in form. We aren't able to comprehend this. And a lot of people are comparing Babar's dip in form to Virat Kohli's dip in form. But I think the difference here is that Virat Kohli, even at his worst in that 2.5-year period where he wasn't scoring a century, he was still averaging decently. He was still getting decent starts. And Virat Kohli was lucky enough to have a really good batting lineup above him and below him, that even his downfall, his dip in performances, was covered by guys like Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, or the other lower order batters.
Somebody sent me this meme. I'm not going to say who, but somebody sent me this meme. It's a picture of Babar Azam and it's a picture of Imran Khan. And it says, on top of Babar Azam's head, it says, days since century, 706. And over Imran Khan, it says, days since freedom, 731. And on the top, it says, different battles, same silence. I rest my case. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about Babar Azam on this podcast. I mean, people are upset that we didn't take a selfie with him. People are upset that we didn't give him as much attention on our social media posts, which is like the wrong thing to be upset about. If you need to be upset about anything, it's to be upset with Babar about his form and about his about the way his attitude towards the game. We talked to a lot of people during that round in Florida. And every single person, was, be it the coach, be it the players, fans at the stadium, we were talking about Babar Azam. What is wrong with Babar Azam? From the top management to the fans on the stadium at the marquee with us, what is the thought process? And everybody from the top to the bottom to even Mr. Naqvi Saab at the Coconuts, it's a mental thing.
People said, give Babar Azam some time off. Well, he was just off for 3 months. He went to Europe in between, got a good refresher. He went to the NCA for the skills development program, and he's come back and he's looking rusty. He's getting owned by Jaden Seals. And, I'd love for Babar to get a peach of a delivery at Jaffa in cricket, as you may say. But the 2 balls he got out, let's talk about all 3 balls. The first game against Kudakishmoti, I don't know what he was trying to do.
47, you're looking good. You've been there for an hour and 10 minutes. Finish the game.
I don't know what he was trying to do if he had executed that shot. He came down the track, just went nowhere.
Lofted over extra.
Just went nowhere.
It was a nothing shot. And the thing that upset me about that shot more was that he could have just taken his time. There was no pressure on him. He had just taken his time, gone to his forlorn century that he's been chasing for 706 days, as I just pointed out. Just get that mark. I know it's on his mind. I know it. He's a world-class player. He's Pakistan's greatest batsman, ODI batsman. It's on his. He has all these laurels in his head, and then he has that pressure of not performing. And it's been since 2023, that World Cup, T20 World Cup, Asia Cup, and now Champions Trophy. We're here now at this point where Babar is nowhere to be seen in the T20I setup, and he's only there in the ODI setup, hanging by a thread.
He is playing right now, if I'm being very honest, on reputation.
Legacy.
Babar Azam's average in ODIs this year is 30. His strike rate below 80. I think any other batsman would have probably gotten dropped. But again, because he's still overall averaging in his 50s and he has 19 centuries and lots of performances behind him, the Pakistan management is still backing him. Now, let's go to the second ODI.
Pause.
Yes.
We talked about that. Pakistan management is still backing Babar Azam. Let me put you in the suits right now for a second. Your Pakistani management, after this performance, do you drop a Babar Azam?
Well,
or is it too early?
He's lost his place at ODIs because of his strike rate issue. In ODIs, he is not looking nearly as good as he ever was. In test matches, he has a lot more 50s than 100s, which is telling me that he's struggling to convert his starts into big centuries. So technically, he's not in any format for me. Like, he got dropped in test matches for Kamran Ghulam last year.
Came back and
KG came in, scored a century.
Yep.
The ODIs is the only format where we still think Babar Azam should own that format. He's 30 years old. These are his peak years to score runs. Like, batters in their 20s, they learn from their mistakes. And when they get to their late 20s, early 30s, that is when you score the most amount of centuries, runs. You go through Sachin's career, Ponting's career, Virat Kohli's career, and they have scored the majority of their runs in this time period. When you get older, your fitness decreases, your reflexes gets lower, and it just becomes harder to score runs. So we thought the last couple of years and the next couple of years ahead would have been Babar Azam's peak years.
Yeah.
But we're seeing new lows. He's finding new ways to get out. Again, Jaden Seals is owning Babar Azam. No disrespect to Jaden Seals.
Shout out to Jaden Seals. 10 wickets in this series in 3 games. Special.
Going to the second ODI.
Yes, please.
I thought Babar was lazy on that shot.
Yeah.
A couple of length balls. Third one was a bit fuller, and just he didn't seem anywhere on top of the ball.
Babar FC says the ball nipped back. It was a unicorn over delivery.
It nipped back, it hit his pads, then it hit the stumps.
But was it a unicorn over delivery?
For Babar Azam, no.
Thank you. Third match. The debacle that we saw today.
Third match, he goes a bit across, like he's on the off stump. Ball again nips back, kind of stays low, hits his knee roll. You can see the leg stump in the picture,
which was telling.
He goes for a review without consulting Salman Agha, and it's umpire's call, which to his reaction, he seemed very perplexed.
It looked dead to me. None of these wickets were convincing. The first one he threw away at a very good, solid 47. I think that was the best chance he had this entire series to break the shackles, get that century. You know, he has a very good reputation against West Indies. He's scored majority of his centuries against West Indies. I think we talked about this in a previous podcast. It was all game on from there. All he had to do, we were on the Patreon chat. Everybody was saying, even if he gets a 110 ball century, let it happen. We just need to get that monkey off his back so he becomes who he was before. And he needs that too. But as the days progress, as it keeps going on, as he keeps finding newer and more horrible ways to get out, the pressure mounts. I mean, here we are talking about it once again.
If you've watched The Office, season 2, they do an episode called The Dundies. One of the awards that Michael Scott gives to Pam and Roy is the longest engagement award.
Yes.
And every year they don't get engaged, that award gets funnier. So every match series Babar Azam does not score a century, it keeps getting funnier. But for a Pakistan fan,
I think it gets sadder.
For a Pakistan fan, it gets sadder.
I don't think it's funny. It wasn't funny when Virat Kohli wasn't getting a century. It was just, as a Virat Kohli fan, I was just anxious.
The haters were enjoying it.
The haters will enjoy everything. Like, Babar will score a century. If Babar had scored a century that first game, you know what the comments would have been. Oh, wow, the King has scored a century against the number 10th ranked team. Amazing. Clap, clap. Like, they're not here for any of kind of appraisal for Babar, which is fine. And I don't think Babar needs to prove anything to them. He needs to prove something to himself. And that's becoming tiresome. Watching him go through that, it's like watching paint dry. It's horrible. There's fumes. This is a horrible sight.
There was a time when Babar Azam was averaging annually over 50, strike rate over 100. the past couple of years, his strike rate has dipped below 80. His average last year was 57, but that's only because Pakistan played just 6 matches. This year, he is averaging the lowest he's ever averaged annually in his entire ODI career.
Talk about it.
Like this is breaking news. Like he's never averaged this low in his entire 10-year ODI career. What to do next? Should he go back to domestic? Should we have somebody else replace him? What we're hearing so far is that Babar Azam has let the outside voices seep through. The strike rate debate has gotten to his head. And I've heard Umar Gul speak recently that he watched Babar Azam in the PSL. I think he was with the Zalmi team. And he noticed that Babar Azam has stepped away from his processes. The same processes that guaranteed him runs every single match. He's going out there trying different things, different strategies.
And isn't that what we wanted from him anyways? That's what we've been debating on this podcast. Where is the evolution? Where is the where are the tricks? It's the same old Babar Azam.
I think what we want from him is to follow the same process, but add more things.
Add things.
So if normal guys are practicing 2 hours, Babar should be coming in half an hour early, leaving half an hour late. And that extra time he has for that an hour, he should be doing range hitting shots, practicing different shots, accessing different parts of the ground where he is currently not doing. There's guys behind him. KG is knocking.
KG's been knocking.
Bro got wrongfully dropped. Umair bin Yusuf is there. A lot of these guys look promising, but they aren't getting an opportunity.
You're saying that, I mean, there's not a lot of ODI cricket for Pakistan in the next 6 to 8 months. I think there's a South Africa series, and that's probably it until the World Cup.
Correct.
Am I right? So unless something sporadically spawns in between, as it does usually, we're not going to see a lot of Babar Azam. But Babar plays this series and then doesn't play anything till December.
Then he goes to the Big Bash, in December.
Right? Wait, no. That's not what I'm saying. When is the South Africa series? It's in December, no? It is.
I got to double check.
I think it's in December because they're playing a Boxing Day test match.
In South Africa?
In South Africa.
Okay.
I may be wrong, guys. Fact check me on this. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So again, he has another 3 months off. He plays 3 ODIs, scores 47 in all 3 of them combined.
47 plus 9.
9, okay, 50, whatever it is. 56.
Which is a short number.
Wow. Did not plan that at all. And then he's out again for 3 months. Is he doing anything in those 3 months that is going to be improving that game? Because he doesn't. My argument for Babar in the ODIs is still that it is not a skills-based deficiency in him. It's completely mental. It's completely psychological.
People in the management think that because he had such a long purple patch between 2019 to 2023, that his downfall has to be a similar period.
We cannot wait for a Babar Azam 5-year downfall, bro. What the hell are you talking about? Careers will come and go in that time. KG will no longer be knocking. He'll be using a cane to knock.
He's going to bulldoze that door.
He's going to bulldoze that. It's not possible for anybody to wait that long. I think it's lucky for Babar Azam that if he is in his bad patch, that this is a T20I year. And it's a T20 World Cup, so the emphasis is on those games. Gives him a chance to sort of lay low, practice his stuff. He's going to go back to Pakistan. He's not going to Dubai with the team. As we've heard so far, I don't think that's for certain. Fakhar is out for a while. Shadab is out for a while. There is space. Now, if Mike Hassan exercises that right to put Babar Azam in the squad, it's going to create waves. We'll see how that goes. But I think if just Babar does not play the next 4 months, will that affect him positively or negatively?
The excuse that we're hearing is that, Pakistan was rusty in Bangladesh because they were out for 2 months. Babar Azam was rusty in this ODI series because he was off for 3 months. So if he's off for 3 more months and not playing international cricket, is he going to come back rusty again? Is he going to take 3 games to get his engine rolling again?
He only has 3 games because I think it's a 3 ODI series against
South
Africa. In South Africa, by the way.
There we go.
I don't know. It's psychological. I was talking to Hanif Malik, who is a batting coach / mental health conditioning coach. He reads a lot of books. He knows a lot of things to talk to players about. He's not a certified psychologist or anything, but he knows the keys and the tools to get through to players. I think he has a lot to do to make sure that Babar gets out of his bubble, because it's going to be tough for him to do it alone.
Let's talk about Saim Ayub.
Let's do it.
He's gotten I think 2 or 3 times to Jaden Seals.
All three.
Similar dismissals.
All three are Jaden
Ball
Seals.
going across to him, getting out to slip, getting out to caught behind.
The ugliest one was the third one.
It just seems like he's going for a rash drive.
Yeah. The third one was horrendous. Like it was almost near the wide marker, and he was trying to chase that. No
Feet
foot
going
movement.
nowhere close to the ball, head going nowhere close to the ball, just swinging his arms through
I
it.
think Saim holds himself to a higher degree of standard than that. I think he'll be absolutely upset with himself going.
Do you feel like it's the pressure of bowling that's gone on top of him? Like before, he was just batting, and maybe he was bowling a few overs here and there, but now he's being expected to bowl at least 5 to 10 overs.
I disagree. I think he's a professional. I don't think that's. I don't think those two, as an all-rounder, Bashar, I can tell you, I don't think those two compartments in your brain.
Where do you bet?
I'm actually currently going through an injury, so I would like to decline that question. But as it stands, those are two very different aspects of cricket. Even actually fielding is a third aspect of cricket that does not really affect the first two. You can have a horrible day in the field, but you can come out and score a century. That's like not the same. You're not using the same parts of your brain to exercise that muscle. I just think, I don't know, it's just a lapse of judgment. That third ODI wicket is just shocking. The first two, I can make a case of extra bounce, maybe not reading the length properly, just the ball getting big on him. I can understand those reasons, and that's fine. You get a perler every now and then. The third one is just like, what are you trying to do? You're taking the two decisions or 2 wickets that you got against Jason Seals, or the 2 wickets you gave against Jason Seals to your head, and you're making that the crux of your entire opposition against him when it comes to the third ODI, where we need you to stand up. It's a 292 chase. You're going to be there for a while. Let that one go. Why do you have to chase that? It was just such a gnarly edge as well. Like, just horrible cricket altogether. Not what I expect from Saim. Saim from the ball, it has been relatively good. I would love to talk to you about Mike Heston's approach of all-rounders over professional ballers. I think that's a debate to have as well. But I don't know. Saim, clueless. Even though he had a really good T20I series where he was potentially man of the match. Oh, player of the tournament, I should say. There was, I told you, we heard teasing going on between Saim and Mohammad Nawaz as Mohammad Nawaz won it, but he was there in contention.
Saim scored 250, he's got wickets. I think he was the highest rated impact player in that series by Cricinfo.
Yep.
I thought he should have gotten it as well.
Sure.
But yeah, he wasn't able to convert those same performances here, even though these are similar conditions to what he's experienced a couple of years back in the CPL.
Yeah.
So you'd think he would come back and replicate those performances. The next guy I want to talk about is Abdullah Shafique.
I thought you were going to say Mohammad Rizwan.
I skipped that. I went back.
Okay.
I thought if we're going like role by role,
Sure.
Saim, we talked about Babar, Shafique. We thought he would be Pakistan's savior in this format.
Uh-huh.
He was dropped in the Champions Trophy. We had Babar opening. We got Imam back for some reason. And nothing worked. And we thought if Abdullah Shafique had come back, it would have been different results. But as of now, he is averaging 26 last year in ODIs, around 20 this year in ODIs. His career average has dipped below 30. His career strike rate has dipped below 80. And the second ODI he got out, it seemed like he got blinded by that short ball. Like he wasn't ready for it. He just hung his bat, top edge, deep fine leg catch. Today, it's as if he wanted to replicate that boundary he hit to Bumrah in the ODI World Cup, down the ground, hitting over mid-on. That edit has probably gotten to his head. He's seen it so many times.
You think so?
I think so. And then today, on a pitch where the ball isn't coming onto the bat as easily, you're coming down the track and trying to hit him over the top. Pakistan had 3 ducks today, and some said that it was a tribute to Babar Azam's duck in the second ODI. They did not want Babar to feel lonely.
Bro,
like,
what?
if you got 1 duck, here's 3 ducks to tribute you.
What side of the internet are you on?
The dark web.
Okay, well, this is the problem, Bashar. Abdullah Shafique could not get off the mark for 7 deliveries. He felt the need to get out of this track to play a rash shot because the pressure was mounting. 7 deliveries off the trot, chasing 292, right? 294 and 295, chasing 295, and you're 7 off the trot, duck. These guys, the problem that we have, it's what I tweeted as well. Pakistan's top order, barring Agha, who's like in the middle order, and maybe barring Saim, but I would reserve my barment or whatever the word is. for him as well. I would put him in that category. They just do not know how to rotate strike. It's impossible for them to find singles. I mean, a saying in cricket in Karachi is like, "Jiska koi nahi hota, uska third man mein single hota." Like whoever is dying to get a single, just dab your bat to third man and get that single. Right? These guys aren't capable of doing that. Nor do they have a proper release shot. Abdullah tried today, got caught on mid-on, Bashar. They were not able to go over the boundary as he wanted to on a track that's already staying low. You play that risk because you've cornered yourself. You've put yourself in a corner where you cannot claw your way out instead of playing something rash. Hasan Nawaz, very similar as well. Hasan Nawaz had a abysmal innings today, a horrendous innings, shocking innings in Hasan Nawaz's standards.
I don't really blame Hasan Nawaz too much. In this format, he's only played 5 list day matches before his debut here. And he's sort of being pushed into the deep end. This guy cannot take singles. Either he blocks it or he hits sixes. So we're sort of taking a elementary school graduate and putting him into university and asking him to do these difficult courses. That's not his fault. It's the fault of the selectors and the management who think he can come in and learn on the job. Like these are Pakistani international players. I think half our team is learning on the job. Sufyan Nakeem, oh, he's young, he's learning, he's getting better. Saim Ayub, oh, he has super potential. Hasan Nawaz, this guy can be the next big batter in the middle order.
Henrik Klassen.
I said that.
You said that on the
Sue me.
podcast. Sue me.
So, like, half our team is playing on potential, and we're trying to get these guys to learn how to swim by throwing them in the river.
I think no, you're taking the onus off the players, and I would put some more responsibility on the players. Hasan Nawaz is an international player for Pakistan
who plays T20s predominantly.
That's fine. That's totally okay.
Who's only played 5 list day matches.
That's fine. Are you telling me as a cricketer, international cricketer, you are incapable of dabbing one on fine leg for a single?
Well, if you haven't had much domestic experience, you don't know. You haven't been in that scenario.
Of taking singles, Bashar?
The reason why we see Australian players,
I disagree with this.
English players be seasoned players when they're on debut is because they've gone through at least 3 to 5 seasons for county cricket, for shield cricket, and they look like a finished product when they're playing for their countries. In Pakistan, we see guys who have raw talent. Akif Javed. This guy has major run-up issues. And we put them in the international team thinking they will magically learn and get better.
I agree with what you're saying, but I still think there's onus on Hasan Nawaz. A 40 ball 13 is insane. On any level.
I think this is a good transition to a larger issue we have. And I just want to talk a little bit about Mohammad Rizwan here.
Let's go.
Mohammad Rizwan has the lowest batting strike rate for any batter of a full member ICC nation with minimum 300 runs this calendar year. His strike rate in ODIs this year is 71.2. I repeat, 71.2. You know who's number 2 least? Babar Azam.
Oh my God.
So Rizwan and Babar. Babar's strike rate is the second worst for any batter of an ICC full member nation in ODIs this year. And Babar's strike rate is 78.4.
Shocking. There's an argument of, why do we keep saying Rizbar? Why can't we separate the two? The reason that Babar's downfall is so evident is because he's been looped into Rizwan, blah, 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 blah. At the same time, you keep finding both of them on similar lists like these. Bashar, we were there live, Pakistan versus India, when Rizwan dead batted for 25 overs. He did the same thing in the last game, inexplicably dead batted. And today as well.
At one point, he was 4 runs off 23 balls. So it's the fact that he dead bats it, but he also dead bats it in the beginning of his innings. And that has an effect on the other batsman who's trying to take singles, and then he's noticing that the required rate is going up or the run rate is going down, and he has to take a chance.
Yeah. That's basically what's happened. Mohammad Rizwan, it does not make sense to me what his game plan is when he comes out.
There is no game plan.
No, there has to be a game plan.
I think it's just vibes.
I think
they're just going with the flow.
I think purposefully dead batting all these deliveries, there has to be something in his head going on. Like, hey, if I can go through, there's a patch, right? If I can make it through the next 5 overs with X amount of runs, then I'll start to change the over rate after the next 5, and then yada yada yada. I think when Pakistan came into batting against India in the Champions Trophy, they were like 245, 250. We can stop these guys.
Bro, I think it's a skill issue. Because in this same series, we've seen guys like Salman Agha come in, dab it for third man single. We've seen new guys, Hussain Dalat, who's on his comeback series, play at a better strike rate. He's coming in, hitting the out boundary. He's a rotating strike. He has the reverse sweep. He has a paddle shot. I just don't think Rizwan has the capability of hitting the gaps at will, sweeping the ball, reverse sweeping the ball. Because typically when it comes to bat, it's the middle overs. It's overs 10 to, I believe it's 40, where only 4 fielders are outside and 5 are inside. So at any point of time, you have at least one boundary option. If you're good enough to manipulate the field, you should be able to get the gaps, either get a boundary, get the twos, or get the ones.
I think, like I said previously, I think these guys are really fortunate that it's not an ODI year. And this is probably why Rizwan will find himself a little bit easier when he goes back to Pakistan. What happens when your captain is not scoring runs and is kind of sabotaging, not purposefully, but sabotaging the game against you? You can't sack your captain. Again. It's been like a year since he's been hired. And give it to Agha. I think that's what the discourse is around Pakistan right now.
Well, the
Give Agha everything.
The real question is, if you do sack Rizwan, bench him,
Because if you
who do you bring in?
By the way, if you sack Rizwan, you have to do it now. Because if you're looking forward to 2027 World Cup, you cannot sack him in literally the next 6 months.
And you're saying sack him probably more because of his batting than his captaincy.
Yes, captaincy was also questionable, not the best. But the batting has just been like the reason why Sarfraz was sacked was because he lost one series and was kind of a
liability as a batter
in the team. Yes.
Well, here's the question. Hypothetically, if you do drop him, let's say hypothetically again, you make Agha the white ball captain, right? He's just the white ball captain. Who do you replace Rizwan with? Do you bring in a finisher in Mohammad Haris or Farhan? Yeah. Do you trust Farhan's keeping to keep for 50 overs and then open the innings? Are you going to bring him as an opener or as a middle order?
I think you slot him in where Rizwan is. You give him the 4 or 5 position. Maybe you move.
I don't agree.
You move Agha up. You put Saibzada in 5, and then you make him work his way up. I think if this happens, by the way,
I think if anything, Hasibullah probably has a better chance.
Probably Hasibullah. But Hasibullah, isn't he like going to the UK or US or something?
I think he's back now.
He's back? Okay, that was just a bluff.
He had a bit of sad stories.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't value you, leave.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know why. Our cricketers are very emotional.
Yeah, these guys got to stay out of Instagram. But like it's hard decision in the ODI team is what I'm talking about right now. Mohammad Rizwan, is he it? Is he the guy to take us out of this abyss? Or is he the guy who's further plunging us deeper into it?
Let me give you some more detailed stats, and I want to see your reaction on this. Pakistan's average dot ball percentage in this series has been 61%. So 60% of the entire deliveries Pakistan has faced this series have been dot balls. I think the larger issue is it's not the dot balls, but it's the dot balls and it's the lack of boundaries. So a combination of these two things is resulting in Pakistan either not scoring power runs while batting first, or they aren't able to chase things down. Let me give you some more context. Pakistan has won 2 matches this year. Both of them have been while chasing.
Yeah. 2 out of 11, by the way.
Correct. In the 3 matches that they batted first, they were only able to score a way below par total. And the opposition was able to chase it down very easily. Talking about the 241 they scored against India in the Champions Trophy, the 178 in the second ODI, and there was another match in New Zealand. So when Pakistan is batting first, they don't know what's a good total, or they're so conservative up front that they never get to an above par total. Now, this coupled with Pakistan's issue with dot balls. So if you look at dot ball percentages individually, they don't give you any information. You have to compare Pakistan's dot ball percentage with the opposition's dot ball percentage. Now, in the last 11 matches, Pakistan has played more dot balls than the opposition in 7 matches.
Okay. So past 11, 7 times they've played more dot balls than the opposition.
Correct.
And what about the other 4?
Other 4 has either been equal or they've played about 3% better, 7% better.
So it's marginal.
It's marginal.
Okay.
So that plus in those same matches, they haven't scored enough runs and boundaries as the opposition.
Yeah.
So they're not taking singles in the middle overs, and they aren't scoring boundaries to cover up for those singles. And it's a combination of those two things as a batting unit where Pakistan is lacking behind.
So the case for Pakistan right now is that, let's go from the top. We have a potential superstar talent in Saim Ayub, not really clicking all the time. He still has a pretty good strike rate and a pretty good average against really good teams. He's won 2 really good series, but again, it's the consistency of the clicking that we're talking about, not there. Abdullah Shafique, his form has went over a cliff. We don't understand what's going on with him. He's just a shell of a player that he was literally 2 years ago. Babar Azam, your most prolific ODI player, is just not understanding how to get away from his own self. Like, he is the problem of his own career right now, which is tough to endure, and it's tough to face as a Pakistan cricket fan. And then you have your captain at number 4 that will dead bat any ball, even if it's on good length. If it's a full toss, he'll find a way to dead bat it. He just does not know how to rotate strike or play on the offside. And then you finally get Salman Ali, who, again, today he only scored 3 boundaries, but he was busy in the field. He scored 30 odd runs, and he was trying to maneuver his way, keep taking singles, keep finding the bad ball. And then basically from the 5th onwards, you got Hasan Nawaz at number 6, who's just like a new guy who's trying to find his way, doesn't really know how to rotate strike. And then you got a bunch of all-rounders.
Hussain Durat, who's making his comeback. Mohammad Nawaz making a comeback. Yeah. Relying on guys like Naseem Shah, Shaheen Afridi, Hasan Nawaz to come and score runs.
Yeah. It's a bad look.
Let's use this to transition to Pakistan's bowling. And before we talk about the bowling itself, I want to talk about Pakistan's rotation policy. So Pakistan comes into this series. This is a 3-match ODI series, and we rest Naseem Shah for one of the matches. Now, I understand they're playing 3 ODIs in the span of 1 week.
Yeah.
But Naseem Shah has been off for the past 3 months. Why does his workload need to be managed right now? Why does Shaheen Afridi need to be rested for the 3rd and most important match of the series, a series decider? Now, I know these things are decided pre-series. Like, Shaheen is informed before series, hey, Shaheen, I don't care if you take 2 10-fers, you're going to be dropped.
2 10-fers.
This is an honest this is how it works. Naseem Shah was told, you're playing the first match and the 3rd match. Hasan Ali playing the last 2 matches. So it's something that they've pre-decided. And
why?
It's just to give these guys clarity. And I guess to tell them that,
don't worry, it's not your form.
It's not your form. It's more of your workload management.
It's tactical.
It's
not you, it's me.
But my question is, again, why does Naseem Shah need rest when he's coming back after a 3-month break? Why is Shaheen Shah needing break when he's playing this is his 2nd, 3rd ODI in the span of the last 3 months? And he's played some T20Is. He played 2 T20Is where he bowled 8 overs.
Yeah.
Are bowlers that fragile where they can't bowl 10 overs or 20 overs in a span of 4 days?
I think that's a valid criticism. And I also think that Pakistan, if they should have gone full throttle today, they should have sat Hasan Ali out. They should have given Shaheen the whole 3 games and made sure that they had some sort of winning tactic going into this. My counter argument to that is that I think the management is looking at these ODIs. The respect and the weightage of these ODIs, of bilateral ODIs in the cricketing world has changed. And I think Hassan and Co. is looking at this as an opportunity just to keep your bench strength deep. And to me, this is what the messaging is. I think the T20Is are more in line of we need to win this to get some momentum. So we're looking comfortable and competitive in the Asia Cup and the World Cup, which makes sense. In the ODI format, it's like, I don't care what happens. We beat 3-0, we win 3-0, we lose 3-0. This is the format and the rotation I want to run to make sure that everybody gets game time. I don't 100% think that's working.
Well, if that's the case, then fans need to be ready to be accepting of these results.
I don't think Pakistani fans are extremely volatile.
Bro, this is our first ODI series loss in 34 years against West Indies.
Yes, but
34 years. We weren't even born.
I know none of these players were born, but at the same time, would you, if this is a rotation policy that yields results in 18 months, would you look back and be like, hey, that loss against West Indies out in the away series sucked, but I think we made the final of the 2027 World Cup?
I think that's a conversation to be had once
In
it
the future.
happens.
But again, Pakistan is just like the West Indies. And when we talked to Mash, they talked about the same thing. But the West Indies problem is that they want results yesterday. They want to win things yesterday. They are not ready to have 2 years of bad cricket to ensure that they come out the other side a little bit better. That's the same thing with Pakistani fans.
No,
I'm
for
not-
West Indies, it's also important because with
Qualification.
the help of this series, they've gone from number 10 to number 9.
Mhm.
And the cutoff for qualification for the ODI World Cup is March 31st, 2027. Now, the host, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia, I think have qualified automatically.
Okay.
So, and I think the top 8 teams qualify. So, I don't know if it's going to be a 12-team tournament.
It is a 12 match.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. As I have heard, yeah.
So, is it
They've
like
expanded.
2 groups of 6 or is it going to be
2 groups of 6, I believe.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So then that means that there's one spot open and West Indies will be eyeing that spot.
Which is fine, but at the same time,
So for them, the immediate wins do count.
the immediate wins count. It's also a lesser year for ODI, so they're also focusing on the T20I World Cup as well. That being said, the rotation policy, it's been set. It's what the team thinks is going to work. The losses right now are not really helping with the marketing or the management or the aesthetic of what they're trying to do. But I think we should believe in Hasan and Co and see where this goes off. As it stands right now, there is a definite strategy that was trying to be implemented. It's the execution that is falling flat on its face.
I don't know how much I agree with this policy of only playing 3 specialist bowlers.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And then relying on the all-rounders to come in to fill in the other about 20 overs. So we noticed, firstly, that Pakistan played 2 specialist pacers in every game. Then they relied on, I think Fahim played the first match, and then they had Nawaz come in the second and third match. They had Hussain Tarat get in a few overs. They had Salman Agha get in a few overs. Saim Ayub was bowling. And the thing is, I think this policy can work in T20Is when it's a shorter format, and you can get a couple of overs in bursts when a wicket falls, and it can still work out for you. But in ODIs, a longer format against better oppositions, this policy can potentially fire back, which in the second ODI it did. Agha went for 33 and 3 overs.
Yeah.
Saim Ayub also got smashed.
Yeah. And this is also one of those things where the blinders of the South Africa and Australia wins last year were prevalent because Pakistan went with the same strategy into the Champions Trophy and got whipped.
What happened in that Australia series and South Africa series is that Pakistan got those teams out.
Yeah,
so
Pakistan-
we never bowled all the 50 overs.
Pakistan used 4 bowlers in one of those ODI matches, and that's it.
Shaheen, Naseem,
Hasnain,
and Haris Rauf.
that's it.
So we never had
The problem.
the problem of who's going to bowl the 48th over.
We didn't go there because they didn't bat more than 35 overs. But that gave a false sense of security to Rizwan and Co that this is going to happen every time. And then when they came to New Zealand, when New Zealand came to Pakistan, they got whipped for 350. And we're like, what the hell just happened here? It was like, well, you went for three pacers and 3 part-timers.
The other issue is that we've seen in the T20I series that West Indies is having troubles in reading and picking Sufyan Mukim. So because of this policy of only playing 3 specialist bowlers, you're not playing Abrar and Sufyan in the same match.
Can I ask who you would set out if you were to put in a Sufyan Mukim in this match? Hussain Talat?
Probably Hussain Tarat, maybe Mohammad Nawaz.
Okay.
Right? Because Hussain Tarat is bowling 4 overs. He's bowling between 125 to 130 clicks, not looking threatening at all.
But Nawaz was like your player of the tournament literally like a week ago. And he's getting turned.
Well, here's my other counterpoint, right? The third match, Pakistan is chasing 295 and you're out for 92 with the same tactic of having batters at number 10. If the top 3 aren't scoring runs, how can Naseem Shah at number 10 come in and score runs?
Is it a policy flaw or is it an execution flaw?
I think the policies should be reconsidered.
Okay.
Like, I feel like if they had played Sufyan Mukim here, he would have given 10 overs, 2 for 30. West Indies cannot pick him. We saw it in the T20 series.
Did he play the first ODI?
He played the first ODI. I think he
went
played
for
the first one, yes.
I think he went for 50.
Did he?
Yes. I just want to double check that. Sufyan Mukim, 10 for 52 and 1 wicket.
Still better than Nawaz's figures today.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that 10 for, what did you say, 3 for 10?
I'm just
overs,
assuming.
30 for 2. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe they don't go for 290. Maybe they get restricted to 270, 265. But Pakistan was still not going to chase that. That was still going to be a mammoth total for them to chase, especially with guys in the form that they find themselves in currently. It's tough.
I think where we lost the game today was Pakistan's death bowling. 109 runs given in the last 7 overs, which got West Indies from about 185 to 294. And Shai Hope's batting was brilliant.
I think we are not giving the West Indians enough credit today. I think, what's his name? I want to get the name right. Jaden Seals. He was at the potential of taking a 7 for today if that rather than suicide his wicket. He was bowling economically. He only gave 18 runs. He was bowling good lengths. He had 34 dot balls in his spell, which are obviously 7 overs.
Third best ODI figures for a West Indian player of all time.
Boom. You cannot take that away from Jaden Seals. He's been eyeing this comeback for a long time. He's made Saim his bunny this entire series. He's gotten Abdullah Shafique. He's gotten Babar Azam. He was on a hat trick today. Like, please give him his flowers because he was bowling a good length. He was making the ball talk. He was seaming and swinging. And if you're consistent enough with your hard work, you get results like these. When you get teams like Pakistan falling over you. And total kudos to Seals. And then Shai Hope, man, he's played at captain's knock. He's inched his way into the top 3 or top 4 ODI.
He's number 3 for the most
right?
centuries for West Indies, just behind Chris Gayle and Brian Charles Lara.
So that self says something to me about the responsibility that Shai Hope is taking. He has a mammoth task on his hand, getting this team ready with Puran retiring, with a lot of these guys not available for year-long bets with the West Indians team because they're playing their leagues. It's tough for him to make a unit out of these guys that are coming from literally different parts of a strip of land. It's tough. And you asked Shai Hope in the presser after the T20I series loss, and he was angry. He had attitude to give you. And I think now he was able
No, he mentioned that he just wants guys to perform the same ways in the leagues. Same as he wants guys who are performing in the leagues to come in and do it for the region.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't matter how good you are in a PSL or an IPL, but if you can't do it for the West Indies, it doesn't really matter.
And I think he came out today and said, you know what? If you guys can't do it, I'll do it. Like Thanos, I'll do it myself. 120 not out, 94. He basically, off 94 deliveries, he basically was the spine of the West Indian batting today. 5 6s, 10 4s, 127 strike rate in ODIs with the type of batting that he was doing today on the pitch that it was. Kudos to him for picking out the bad balls, for waiting for his chances. They scored 100 runs in the last 7 overs. Mashar.
Shai Hope's strike rate in his ODI career was in the early 70s, the early part of his ODI career. Now it's almost 80, and that's a testament to him improving his game, especially his six-handed ability. He is averaging 55 this year with a strike rate of 101. So I think he's right now up there in terms of quality ODI players, and the way he's playing, he will go down as one of West Indies' greatest ODI batters.
He is the one who's trying to actually take West Indies out of the abyss and trying to make something out of this team. These ragtag fellows trying to get some sort of sensibility into them to win games and get into the habit of winning. And, honestly, you started the podcast with mentioning how West Indies was not there in the Champions Trophy for the past two events, not in the World Cup. They've just been a bottom tier team. And for the success of cricket worldwide, West Indies is an integral part because they bring the flair, they bring the class, they bring the style. And it's good to see West Indies coming back and finding their way, however haphazardly it may be.
I want to add something to that stat. They've been bad, yes, but their home record in the last 2 years is pretty decent. Of the 12 matches they've played at home in ODIs, they've won 9 of them.
Yeah.
And they've won the last
4 series
at home.
Yeah.
So
and that's 2 against England, by the way.
Correct. So they're not that bad
at home
in ODIs at home. So that's 2 things. They're not bad at ODIs at home. So
yes.
That has to go together. I think I want to go back to Pakistan's death bowling a bit.
Let's go.
With this new management, we're seeing Pakistan trying to execute Yorkers in the death more. We've seen that in the T20 series, now in the ODIs. I love the idea, but I think the execution needs a lot of work. When the bowlers got it right, we saw some really good deliveries. Naseem Shah's bowled to Roston Chase was almost an unplayable delivery.
Highlight of the series.
With this new rule where there's only one ball used from the 34th over till the end of the innings, we're seeing reverse swing come back into play.
We saw some really good deliveries from Shai Hope in the T20I series as well.
Correct.
Really good reverse swing coming back and shaping in. Lovely to see. Missed it, actually. It's been a while.
Right. So with reverse swing not coming back towards the later part of the innings, it is far more important now than it ever was to nail your Yorkers. And we saw our bowlers today over pitch. So have the balls go in the slot, went for boundaries. Have full tosses. So we saw some
knee high and waist high.
Knee high and waist high full tosses.
Yeah, that's bad. You're missing the mark by a lot.
And
low full tosses are different.
And when they were going for the wide Yorkers, again, over pitching in the slot, going for boundaries. So I think lots and lots of work to be done. The one sad thing about this Pakistan bowling attack, particularly the fast bowling attack, it's not a fast bowling attack anymore. It is a medium fast bowling attack. Because I don't think any bowler clocked in 140 this series.
No. I saw Naseem clocking 140.
1 ball, 2 ball, 3 balls.
Yeah, near the end of his spell, yeah. Yeah, it was a few deliveries. Maybe the last spell was
overall, I think
I know what you're thinking.
Average speed, Hasan Ali was faster.
Which is shocking.
Which is shocking because Hasan Ali is just a medium pace bowler.
Yeah.
And Naseem Shah at one point was clocking in 145 clicks for fun.
Yeah.
Today
I saw this clip, but I don't know how verifiable this is. What if it's AI? I don't know. But I think Raz was talking about this in one of his programs, maybe in the World Cup or the Asia Cup or the Champions Trophy, about when Naseem's first over in Test match cricket averaged 147 kilometers.
That was his first over in his entire Test career.
Yeah. How's he gone down? How is he 10 kilometers slower?
Well, because he's gotten about 2 to 3 stress fractures in his back. He had a shoulder surgery, and now he's back with a remodeled action, which isn't really in its final stage, in my opinion. It shouldn't be. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is a video of Naseem Shah, and it's right now at the point of release. If you pause it, if you see this, it's as if Naseem Shah is going to deliver the ball to the final leg umpire. So his front foot, his hips are all aligned to release the ball over there. Move that. It's as if he's going to release the ball to the final leg umpire. And last moment, he is twisting and turning and twitching and getting the ball to the batsman.
He's doing way too much.
He's doing a lot. Now, right now, he's young. He can probably do this for a few more years. But as his body wears down, this will become a lot more challenging. And this is also why Naseem Shah has 2 balls. The outswinger that starts at the 4th stump and swings away to the 5th stump beats everything. It's not a wicket-taking ball. Or when he tries to go straighter, it goes from middle stump on the pads, flick for 4. So unless Naseem Shah starts bowling on that middle off channel on a good length, he's going to struggle to get wickets. He's going to have amazing spells, great highlights, wonderful edits, but we won't see him be a wicket-taking bowler, especially with the new ball.
I think you should do a whole deep dive on this on one of the short forms, because I think that's a very interesting stat there. Man, I don't know. The dead bowling was horrendous to see. I could not believe that this guy scored 100 runs in the last 7 overs. I was watching that, and that's where this migraine that I have today started from. I was watching these guys go all over the park by Shai Hope and Greaves. Again, kudos to these guys. These guys picked up the bad balls. They went for it. They had a plan and they executed it. I would say they over-executed it, and it came out, scoring 295, which was never going to be chaseable for this team.
We can't finish this podcast without thanking our lovely sponsor, Yashi Sports.
Wow, that was a hard turn.
Because they are Canada's home of cricket. Because they sponsor the podcast. They help keep the lights on. And, for the past few months, they've been part of the Backward Point family. So thank you, Yashi Sports. Thank you for providing top-class equipment. Thank you for being Canada's home of cricket. And thank you for providing us the exclusive code BP10 for 10% off your purchase. And finally, thank you for giving free shipping on orders of $350 and up. Before we wrap things up, I want to ask you, what do we do next in the ODI format? I think now the focus will shift to the Tri-Series in the UAE, followed by the Asia Cup. So this series lost might just be put under the carpet. People might forget and move on. But on this podcast, where we have so much trauma in the past 2.5 years, kids, if you want to do a podcast, don't do it on Pakistan cricket. Do it on New Zealand cricket,
Indian cricket.
India, do whatever you want, but not Pakistan cricket.
It'll make you more money too, buddy. What is next for Pakistan in ODI cricket?
Do we stick with this opening pair? Do we continue to back Babar? Is Rizwan still our captain of choice? Is he still Pakistan's best wicketkeeper batter? Emphasis on batter. Is Hasan Nawaz a good fit for ODIs? Can we trust Hussain Tarat's bowling as a part-timer? Is this 3 specialist bowler strategy working for us? Can we rely on Agha, Saim Ayub, Hasan Nawaz, Hussain Tarat to give us 20 overs? A lot of questions.
God behind. This is how we end the podcast. I don't have an answer to anything you're saying. I think it's very stressful, honestly, as a Pakistan cricket fan, looking at this ODI team. We still stand number 4 on the squad, on the thing.
5.
Is it 5 now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahil Sharif. No. It's just tough. A lot of answers to be looked upon. I think Hasan and co have other priorities as this right now in this moment, with T20Is being at the first and foremost. So I think ODIs unfortunately are taking a back step. If you ask me, I think, you know how they say in Urdu, "Jaisa chal raha hai, waise chalta rahega." I think the South Africa series is going to be much of the same. I don't think we're going to see any wide changes. I don't think we have anybody. Who are you going to drop? Who you drop Shafique? Who do you bring in to South Africa? It's suicide. You don't bring anybody.
I'm not saying anything, but I am saying that Imam ul Haq just scored 2 centuries for Yorkshire.
Oh my god. Oh my
well, if Abdullah Shafique has a 29 average and 78 strike rate, why can't Imam ul Haq play with a 50 average and 80 strike rate?
This is when I wrap up the podcast.
This is not me, by the way. This is the fans.
These are the fans. This is Twitter. It's going to be more of the same. You're going to see similar situations right now, unfortunately, until the T20 World Cup passes. And then you're going to see some rapid changes. Will you see a new captain? I don't know. I don't even know if this is the right move to make. It's a lot on Agha's plate. Agha's already thinking about the T20I World Cup. Let him cook there. Let's see what happens in the T20I World Cup. And then if things go Agha's way, you might see a captaincy change in early Feb.
Do you think Babar Azam should sign up for the CPL or like some other league happening? Because they're off for the next 3 months. Why not just play some leagues? The
question is, if they sign up, will anybody pick them?
It's a good question.
That's the problem.
We spoke to Naseem and he told us that he signed up for St. Kitts at the CPL. So I think he's staying back in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And playing for the next 8 weeks, I believe, at the CPL.
I think that's good for him. More cricket is better for these guys.
I think what Naseem needs is to go back to the NCA and work on his bowling action.
Somebody's got to make money too, bro. And to be honest, if Naseem is just in the ODI setup for now, I don't think he's part of the T20I setup at all at this point. If that's the case, let him cook for 8 weeks, make his money. He still has 2 more months when he comes back of no cricket. And I just hope the NCA guys know exactly what to do with him.
You think Wahab Riaz knows what he's doing?
I've heard some horror stories.
You think Aqib Javed knows how to fix bowling actions?
I'm just stressed out.
You think Abdul Razak and his strike force are going to help Pakistan's ODI batting?
The strike force sounds like something from the DC comics, bro. Oh my God. This is tough. I'm hoping against hope. Fingers crossed. Okay. I've heard some horror stories already. You know what I'm talking about. And
Wahab Riaz is someone who never got the ball to swing with a new ball.
That's crazy.
How can he teach someone how to swing the new ball? Wahab Riaz had some like tendon issue in his arm. So every time he bowled, he had an angled seam. It was never straight.
I remember.
He never bowled with a new ball. He was always a first change, death reverse swing bowler.
Yeah.
So at the NCA, how can he teach someone like Salman Mirza or, Ahmed Raza? What's the name? Ali Raza. How is he going to teach these guys how to swing the ball? He's never done it before.
He's going to learn on the job.
He's learning on the job.
Maybe Wahab Riaz will learn how to
We
swing
are
the ball.
doomed, guys.
Maybe Wahab Riaz will learn. Sure, you can't end the podcast in such a doom and gloom. Give me some positives.
The positives are that Hasan Nawaz has potential.
The positive is that Pakistan isn't playing ODIs for 3 months. So you guys can sleep in peace.
Dude, honestly, with social media and decreasing attention spans, watching ODIs has become a pain.
But yeah, watching ODIs is a pain when they're going at 3.5 an hour. 3.5 and over for like 20 overs.
That too.
That is tough. And the last 10 overs were actually exhilarating to watch. The way that West Indies batted, that was actually really, really fun. And the build-up was really fun because they were in a little bit of a pickle early on, and they clawed their way out. That's ODI cricket at its best. And it was also, as just a cricket fan, fun to see Pakistan crumble as they did in like 18 overs or whatever they batted.
You enjoyed watching that?
As a cricket fan, I love when like teams score huge and then the other ones, like remember when India got out for 36 all out? It was a joy. Still watch that sometimes. Just feel something. You don't think that's going to be problematic, is it, sir?
You've triggered them already.
All right. Well, they were here anyways, vibing, and I thought I'd take a snide jab at them. Anyways, guys, I hope meaning was found in this podcast for you guys, because we were trying to decipher it on our own.
If you guys have any suggestions, let us know in the comments.
I think, this actually might be a really good time to do like a hot takes episode. Like Instagram post, give us your hottest cricket takes, and then we'll just react to them. Because right now, I'll tell you something, Bashar. Pakistan cricket fans, fuming, livid. They'd have probably the funniest hot takes, and just cricket fans in general are just like, they're stressed out.
That's a good idea. We'll look into that.
Look into that, right? That's it for us, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.
A lot of you guys who are watching us are not subscribed.
And a lot of us who are listening to us on Spotify are not leaving reviews. So
I'm looking at all of you guys.
Work on that, guys. Come on. You guys can do this right now for us. Hit subscribe. Subscribe actually helps us get like better sponsors in the future, because they look at our numbers and like, hey, you guys have X number of subscribers. That's great. And then obviously, if you guys want more deeper discussions, you want access to us 24/7, join the Patreon. The Patreon is one of the most amazing things right now for me and my mental health, being a Pakistan cricket fan. Us and like 30 other people just freaking out. I love it.
It's a place to be.
It's the place to be. And then obviously, if you guys want a community that's a little bit more free, the Discord is always free for us. For you guys, you can join that, meet like-minded people, and just let it run, man. If you're a cricket fan, if you're a Pakistan cricket fan, this is the place to be.
Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Cheers. Bye.